Hello and welcome to things I find interesting that happened today in the past, aka Tifitht Itp. This show is all about the events that occurred today in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things I personally find intriguing enough for me to bring to you. The source of this information comes from the smart device application on this day, the icon of which is shown as cutoff prevention at the beginning and end of each episode. The music in the background is Invincible by Def Kev, which I found on the YouTube channel No Copyright Sounds. For links to the app, music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar. Anyway, on with the show! Today is Moon's Day, aka Monday, March 14th, 2016. In 2007, the first World Maths Day was celebrated. In 1995, astronaut Norman Thagard became the first US astronaut to ride to space on board a Russian launch vehicle. In 1994, Linux kernel version 1.0.0 was released. In 1967, the body of US President John F. Kennedy was moved to a permanent burial place at Arlington National Cemetery. In 1964, a jury in Dallas found Jack Ruby guilty of murdering Lee Harvey Oswald, who was the assumed assassin of John F. Kennedy. In 1951, during the Korean War, for the second time, United Nations troops recaptured Seoul. In 1942, Orvin Hess and John Bumstead became the first in the United States to successfully treat patient Ann Miller using penicillin. In 1939, Slovakia declared independence under German pressure. In 1936, the first all-sound film version of Showboat opened at Radio City Music Hall. There had been a part talkie, part silent version of Showboat in 1929. In 1931, Alam Ara, India's first talking film, was released. In 1910, Lakeview Gusher, the largest U.S. oil well gusher located near Bakersfield, California, vented into the atmosphere. In 1903, the Pelican Island National Wildlife Refuge was established by U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt. Also in 1903, the Hay-Herran Treaty, granting the United States the right to build the Panama Canal, was ratified by the U.S. Senate. The Colombian Senate, however, would later reject the treaty. In 1900, the Gold Standard Act was ratified, placing the United States currency on the gold standard. By the way, whatever happened to that? Look it up. The US dollar is no longer backed by anything physical. This is horrifying. In 1794, Eli Whitney was granted a patent for the cotton gin. And in 44 BC, Casca and Cassius decided, on the night before the assassination of Julius Caesar, that Mark Antony should stay alive. Births: Albert Einstein, 1879. And that concludes Tifitht Itp. For your dose of passive and silly, I am Ayo and you are you. Toodles!